Welcome to the Offshore Club's fun-filled, fact-filled, fast-paced blockbuster podcast with your host and Offshore Club's expat mom, Alyssa Esquivel, coming to you straight from beautiful Belize, where the sun never sets on the good life at a great price. And now, here's your friend, your expert, and your guide, Alyssa Esquivel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Expat Mom here on the Offshore Club. So excited for our interview today. We are continuing this discussion about third culture kids and what it means to grow up offshore and all the experiences that you can get as being an offshore kid. So I am going to walk to the side for a second and introduce to you two people, Sean and Caitlin, and super excited to hear their story and their experience of living in Belize and growing up in Belize. So Sean, Caitlin, can you guys just explain a little bit about where you're at, when you guys moved overseas, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, well, we moved to Belize 7 years ago when I was 10 and Sean was, I believe, 12. And we've been here for 7 years. It's been awesome. We've loved living here. It's been great, honestly. I didn't expect to love living here when we moved here because I didn't want to leave our hometown. But after getting to know people here, going to school here for a while, just getting to kind of grow up here and mature here with people, I wouldn't want it to be any other way. I love living here, and I love that we got the experience to live here and the opportunity.
There's a lot of ups and downs living here as for anywhere, but especially here, there's just a bunch of different things that
You just wouldn't have in Canada or expect.
You wouldn't expect. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you guys have been here, 7 years. That's a good, and it was during a lot of the growing up years that people would say, right? The crucial years. And so, you guys just said it, right? This has been an experience you guys wouldn't trade for the world. And so I think to be able to share to other parents, what are some of those things that you're really grateful for, having lived offshore? You guys get to go back to Canada, you get to see friends in Canada, family in Canada. What are some of the things, maybe just one or two things that you guys notice are different or are unique about your guys' perspective or the things you've experienced versus friends you have back in Canada?
I would say the culture on my end. There's a lot of different stuff like that down here that you wouldn't see in Canada or the States or anywhere like that. So.
Yeah, the people are very different. The people you get the chance to meet. You meet so many people living here, whether they were born here or from different parts of Belize, or they just moved here, or even if it's just other Canadian people or American people. You just meet so many more people, really interesting people. We've definitely met a lot of really cool people. And a lot of people that were born here or live here or just are part of the community here that you wouldn't expect to meet people like that in Canada or the States. The people is definitely a big thing. Definitely.
That's awesome.
The friends I've made, the connections that you have or that we have. Definitely the people for me.
Yeah. So were you guys part of the local school system? Were you guys homeschooled? How did schooling work for you guys?
We actually started with online school for the first 4.5 years, and then we had switched to SPHS in the last 1.5, 2 years. And in my opinion, I would have preferred the online school.
Online school, we went to SPHS more so for the friends aspect of it. When you're in online school, obviously everyone hangs out in school and in that setting, and when you're not in that, it's kind of hard to meet people. So we had been in different clubs, we did sailing, we'd been all around, we met a lot of people, but I didn't really feel like we had a lot of friends, and I wanted to go to the high school here and meet kids our age, and it was a lot of fun, to say the least. The schools are so different here, so different. But it was a really awesome experience, and it was really cool, and it was actually a lot of fun to see and learn what they learn here and experience what a school setting is like for them. I think it was awesome, honestly. I loved going to the high school, only for the last 2 years.
So what are you guys doing now, and what are you looking forward to as, obviously you guys, both of you have graduated now, so you're kind of in another realm right? You're
Yeah.
yeah, that's a whole other world. But what are you guys doing now, and kind of how do you see the experiences you guys have had here in Belize benefiting that?
I mean, pretty much all good experiences, to be honest. Right now, we're kind of stuck doing nothing because of COVID and everything. But when that's over, I think we're all looking to kind of maybe get back and start getting jobs and stuff like that. I think she's going to go back to school and just a few different things like that. But right now, we're all kind of stuck. So,
Yeah, definitely. Everything's been put on halt since COVID. I mean, Sean's been supposed to be gone for like a year now, and he's still here. But definitely, we're not excited to move. We're not looking to move. Like we love being here, but at the same time, it's gonna be really good to go back and get jobs and go back to school and start moving on with that aspect of our lives. It's been really fun. We've been graduating for a year now. We've taken a year off. I've done a few courses online, but other than that, I think we're really ready to just get things back on track.
Awesome. So if you guys were looking, at the next stages in your life, are you guys thinking you're going to stay overseas, or you're going to move back to Canada, or do you think like you've kind of been ruined for living overseas and it'll kind of be your lifestyle forever?
yeah, it's a hard one. I don't know. I'd like to go back for sure, at least to get a living going and everything. But when I'm able to, I'd love to come back down.
Yeah, definitely. I do want to go back to Canada for schooling and the next few years of just figuring out my career. But after I've gotten my degree and I'm on my own feet, then I would love to come back down here and maybe even open a business down here someday. That would be awesome. It's been an amazing time here. I would love to be able to come back.
Awesome. So if you guys could just like share one piece of advice, something you wish that you had known when you guys moved as kids. Obviously, like the experience is a little bit different as a parent or as an adult when you're moving overseas. And yeah, there's something really unique and beautiful about moving overseas as a kid, and your perspective is different. So if you could share one thing with other parents that are considering the move, what would you say?
I would say keep an open mind because when we moved here, I was 10, and obviously I thought it was the end of the world. I was losing all my friends and had to give up all my stuff and sell my house. And it was a really sad thing, and I saw it as a very sad thing. But after living here, I would not trade living here for the world. I am so happy that we got to spend the last 7 years growing up here and sharing here with the people we've met. And just the lifestyle here, honestly, I love being here. I would just say keep an open mind because obviously if you see it as a negative thing, it will be a negative thing. But once you get there and you really experience it, it's truly amazing.
Nice.
Me, I haven't really had any bad experiences with it, but one piece of advice for sure would be to know that everybody knows everybody, and you kind of have to watch how you talk to people and who you talk to, and just kind of stuff along the lines of that. You just got to be careful because it's all so brought together. And I mean, that's kind of it. It's not really a big deal until you get older anyway, but it's kind of a big deal. So,
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys, for taking the time to chat today. And
yeah, no problem.
No
looking
problem.
forward to hearing what you guys do next and all the adventures you guys have ahead.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great.
Well, thanks everyone for listening today. Sean and Caitlin, they moved here 7 years ago, as they said, and they've had this experience of being melded into both the online schooling system and the public school system. And as you can see, they love living offshore. They love the experience of being able to understand the culture here and have a perspective for the benefits and the things that they can gain in Canada. Both of them are going to university and going to be finishing up some trade school programs. They shared about that just a little bit, but Caitlin's hope really is to be able to do some trade schooling and then be able to come back down to Belize and start a business. And what better experience can you have for your kids than that? Is understanding and having appreciation for multiple cultures and multiple experiences and people, and knowing that what they're gaining in being overseas is a flexibility, an understanding of culture, an understanding of the hugeness of the world, and also letting them experience just normal life. So thanks so much for sharing with us today. Thanks so much for listening and just experiencing it through the eyes of a kid. And I think what better way to start out that conversation than through Sean and Caitlin, who moved here in those formidable years, the years that so many times people think it's a time we have to wait for our kids. They need to either be younger when we move, or we need to wait until they're a little bit older and they're really able to sort through some of those emotions and thoughts. And yet here Sean and Caitlin are on the other side of it, and great, and they're well adjusted, and they understand the benefits of both cultures. So thanks so much for listening today. Can't wait to share more with you next week, guys. Bye.
For more information on the Offshore Club or to contact Alyssa Esquivel, visit offshore.club today. Offshore.club. That's offshore.club. See you next time at the Offshore Club.